Welcome, another edition of What the Fuck happening to the YouTube atheist community and whatever, Google Plus and such. I hate that I'm Google Plussing, but I am. Anyway, son, it really is a spectacular day. It really is. For this time of year. The things are kind of turning color and such. Flowers aren't quite doing as well and all that stuff, but there's hummingbirds out here before and all kinds of butterflies and shit. And so anyway, yeah, it's just too spectacular a day for considering the YouTube community at all, even. Yeah. Yeah. But anyway, I guess there are things to consider. Things to talk about briefly. Last night was okay. Sort of the same sort of conversation as usual. A little bit trying, difficult at times. There's nothing. We've been there, done this kind of thing. The argument, and it's this the getting it thing. It's like there's so many people who are. It's possible to argue with nihilists, right? I mean, they annihilate the entire language. So they know when they're being imposed upon. So when it's an imposition on them, they know what words like totalitarian mean, and they know what words like thumb screws are. But if you talk about responsibility and imposition, well, they don't know what those words are anymore. Those concepts don't have any meaning. So as soon as it's them who's being judged, they can't judge. Nobody can do any judging. But they're perfectly capable of judging you as Stalin or Hitler or something else. So it's just a gross. The duplicity is so loud and screamingly harsh and just impossible to deal with. You can't argue with people who have conditional language, who can change the meaning of words to suit their purpose. It's not possible to communicate with them logically. They won't even concede the existence of logic, right? So they know what a totalitarian concept is, but they say logic doesn't exist. That the relationship between flower and some other flower, that the fact that those things are in the same category is something we made up. It wouldn't be true unless we showed up to say it was true. It wouldn't. It's just an idiotic concept. Things have properties, categories, and that's logic is just the idea of accurately identifying properties and categories. There's nothing else going on. It's not something you make up. It's something you reveal about the world. The category of real, even. Practical. Practical is a category. And to have a practical interaction on planet Earth with other humans, you have to have some sort of pragmatic agreement that words are going to be consistently used. That you can't change the meaning of violation when you're committing the violation, and when somebody else is committing the violation, all of a sudden the word means something else. Bullshit. So anyway, so that's one conversation with a general class of nihilist, glibist, selfishist, asshole. We get to make up reality, folks. Then there's this whole sub-conversation about vegetarianism, which kind of gets to this idea of a responsibility and an obligation to a truth, and that you can't just... Again, it's the same kind of argument, right? People are basically saying it's a food choice. They're just totally ignoring the fact that it's a food choice tied to the torture of sentient creatures, as if that's not somehow significant, that's not... Somebody can't rationally or reasonably find that a compelling reason to protest, to exercise a protest. And I compared it to slavery, which is I think perfectly fair. I don't mean any offense to black people by saying that somehow they're in the same class as some animal, but I would put myself in the same class. I wouldn't find a justification for torturing a great ape are a sentient pig. I couldn't personally find reason to justify it for my own sake or for my own comfort. So, there's no offense meant. It's just this idea that sentience is sentience, and it doesn't have a damn thing to do with this idea of you have to have some sort of meritorious linguistic skills. If you don't have the proper linguistic skills, then somehow we can, strap you on a gurney and, start poking your eyes out. That's just nonsense. And such, and so forth. Ooh, shadow. Ooh, shadow. Yes, shadow. Yes. Anyway, yeah. Yeah, so that's, you can't go anywhere with that kind of crap. I don't know if there's much else. Those are two subjects, but the whole general thing is just this idea of trying to get human beings to be human, to acknowledge the kind of difficult circumstance we're in, as sentient beings, and that this is very dangerous. This consciousness thing is not a toy. It is not a benign cardboard box. It is. People aren't toasters. People aren't. They're just not disposable iPhones even. People seem to have more. People seem to value more, stupid shit like a fucking iPhone than they do a realization of the jeopardy and the meaning of what it is to be alive and feeling, and what it is to be, born in a circumstance where, you may pay a very high price for that consciousness, for that capacity to feel and suffer, and the fact that they seem to have no appreciation for just how real it can get, so to speak. What are you going to do? You just put, I don't know. I can't figure out why they can't figure this out. Why they're not intimidated or scared. Very cautious and very careful when playing with this thing. How can they possibly lack that appreciation for how wrong and bad things can go? It stuns me. It just pauses you to say, geez, how can I relate to people that can't understand that? People I have to explain suffering sucks to. I mean, if I have to waste time doing that, what is the point? You people are just so distant from my reality. Our worlds are so many light years away. Just can't make nothing of it. Impossible. Such. Not much there. Pick off all this dead refuse stuff. But yeah, this is getting kind of rough. But some of these are really quite nice. I get the seeds from them. Kind of weird little colors and whatnot. I love these. Look at that. Very nice. Purple. Anyway, I don't think there's anything else happening. Yeah, this is just like, I guess, the forever conversation is how to find some common ground to start a conversation. When people will deny that sentience is the part of our existence that is the precious, most precious part, the capacity to torment and hurt each other, is the most important thing. When they deny that reality, and then they deny an obligation to have any kind of standard understanding of responsibilities, it's not much, nowhere to go. So anyway, that's a commentary for the day, I guess. It seems like enough. So anyway, I will enjoy the rest of the day, I think. And I really got to get some shit done. But man, this is, it's too bad the summer wasn't like this. This is like better than the summer days. I mean, it's just blue sky, warm, just wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful. And such. So forth and whatnot. So, and white marigolds are still blooming. A little bit weak, but still there. Still even have some. The tomatoes are starting to grow, which is funny. You know, they did so poorly, but now they're they're actually growing, which is kind of funny. It's a little bit too late. Don't think they'll make it, but anyway. Now, what are you doing, cat? What are you doing? Cat. Looking for trouble, I think. So anyway, until next time.